here. It's an honor. Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about your build. What is it and what does it do?
Yeah, so it's a point guard, 6'4", 3-point shot hunter. It's really good like offensively, like shooting, dribbling, and then.
And a look behind the curtain here. Final preparations for a look at Atlanta's opening lineup. In the backcourt, it's the stars Young and Murray. Okongwu is out there with Hunter, and it's Money in at the 3 spot. And for the Timberwolves, Towns and Gobert hold down the post for him. The wing set for him, Edwards and McDaniels. And it's Conley in at the point. Believe it or not, the regular season is almost over, Greg, for teams that are out of the playoff picture. What's important now?
Oh, my goodness! Come on now. These guys go flying through the air like that. I love it. Daniels showing what he's got on the slam there.
Here's Money. And it's off from 3-point range. Now, here's McDaniels. He's guarded by Money. Towns for 3. Here's Gobert. Drops in the layup for 2.
Double-digit boards, a regular occurrence for Gobert. Makes it easier to get those second chance hoops, too.
Here's Money. Offline with his 3. For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Here's McDaniels, and that one falls coming off Conley's feet.
Well, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Pass to Towns. Over in the corner, McDaniels. Here's Gobert. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. Here's Money. Edwards defending. Murray the pass to Money. Beyond the arc. Another 3 for Atlanta.
Boy, Murray's court vision, very sharp. And he's unselfish, too. You love seeing that combination.
And it's sent back by Okongwu. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Outside Edwards. Now the pass to McDaniels. Right wing, 5 to shoot. And that one's good.
Towns takes a lot of pride in knocking down 3s. He's as gifted a shooter as we have at the center position.
Incredibly for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Clark, a 2004 playoffs are the only time they've won a series.
You know, Kevin, with Kevin Garnett, they had a few 50-win teams and some excellent coaches. That just tells you, I think, how hard it is to win in this league.
Passes to McDaniels. And Okongwu gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul.
First team foul.
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Edwards kicks to McDaniels. Just 5 to shoot. Pulls up on the wing. They get it back. And slam dunk by Gobert.
This is where Gobert likes to park himself, right around the rack.
Young passes to Money. Fires the 3. It's rebounded by Towns. And so it's Towns with it. He brings it up for the Timberwolves. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
And guys, there's really a fine line between being aggressive and being out of control. And in that one, they crossed the line.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, they seem to be forcing things out there, trying too hard, pressing. When you do that, the turnovers pile up quickly.
And, Clark, what can you say about Anthony Edwards? living up to that first overall hype. He has been spectacular.
Yeah, he has been, Kevin. I agree. Some were surprised he went first overall, but you look back at that draft, he was as good a #1 pick as any of them, and he's certainly proven to be worthy of that status.
Guys, this hasn't been his quarter. I mean, to me, he just doesn't look completely comfortable or confident.
McDaniels passes to Towns. Back to McDaniels. Another miss by Minnesota.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Here's Money. We saw him go on a scoring rampage last game. Here's Murray. Right through the D for the layup.
Murray showing you real poise that time, guys, converting on aggressive defense. The concentration, outstanding.
Conley against Young. Over in the corner, McDaniels. That's in there. Conley with the assist. McDaniels got 7.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
Here's Young. And again, it's Atlanta.
How about the hustle right there by Young? I like seeing him active on the offensive glass.
Inside, here's Conley. Makes it off the glass.
And there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Murray right side. Here's Money. He has 6. Oh, drew the foul. Almost hit the three-point bucket. But he'll go to the line to shoot 3. It's on Anthony Edwards.
At the ball for the Hawks. Money.
And he's good on the second. And he nails the third. And here is Conley. 11 points last game. Pass to Towns. Hunter with some nice defense.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
Pass to McDaniels. Timberwolves passing it around. And it's Towns missing.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
And taking a broader look here at the year-over-year scoring trend for Trae Young.
And looking at his offensive numbers from the past few years, it seems like teams around the league have kind of figured him out. He's having to work a lot harder for his points, and they haven't been coming nearly as easily as they used to.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Reed, he's checked in for Rudy Gobert. And it's Shake Milton in for Mike Conley. Here's Money. Edwards defending. Just 5 on the clock. Lets it go from deep. And he drops it in. Just a pretty release there from Money. Money's got 12 in the game. Timberwolves trail. Here's Edwards. Another shot. No good on the shot. Hunter with some nice defense. Here's Money. Edwards defending. Shoots. Money, no good.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Offensive rebound. Young. Off with the layup. Minnesota's gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. Milton kicks to Edwards. Back to Milton. Okongwu grabs the board. Okongwu's now got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Money. Buries the long-range jumper. 15 points in the game.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows.
And there's the pass to Towns. He kicks it to McDaniels. And the dunk by Towns.
Exactly what they needed from Towns. using his size and strength to box out and keep that play alive.
In the corner, Murray with it. Out to the right wing. Here's Money. He's got 15. Off target with his 3. Minnesota shooting 40% here in the early stages. Back to McDaniel. Excellent D there for Money.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Lets it go with a 3. That's in there. Murray with the assist. And that's 18 points for Money.
Well, that's just an uber unselfish play by Murray. Always ready to drop a dime if there's a better shot available for a teammate.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
A nice shot by McDaniel.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. Their last encounter was in Atlanta.
Well, last time out, they got the win in large part because of the play of the...
The wing set for him, Edwards and McDaniels. Kyle Anderson is out there with Gobert, and it's Conley in at the point guard. So that's the lineup for Minnesota.
And you know, what you love about Mike Conley, he's a leader by example.
The epitome of a terrific point guard and teammate. True professional in every sense of the word, on and off the floor. He plays and he teaches and mentors. I could see him, if he desired, being a really good head coach someday.
Still a solid point guard in this league. When Conley is healthy, he makes a considerable impact on both ends.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Money in the last outing against Charlotte just was phenomenal. He finished with 49 points, and as we've come to expect, he filled it up from three-point range whenever he could, and he was tremendous again. He is playing as well as anybody in the league. He is a must-watch, and we're on the call tonight, guys.
Thanks, David. Yeah, it was a special night for him. The team really fed off his energy.
Yeah, the catalyst for that win, it was an effort that I'm sure he's hoping to replicate tonight.
Yeah, you know, all indications are that he feels good coming into this. Feels confident that he can build on that prior success.
Oh, nice, strong drive there. If that's who's going to be guarding him, then he's got some weight to throw around.
Here's Money. And again, Atlanta with the triple.
That's a dozen straight points coming off the triple.
You know, they're having free reign from beyond the arc. The defense is just not there.
Steps back and fires. With some arc. Money with the rebound. The Hawks leading by 20. Lets it fly. And Atlanta again with the bucket.
Just playing with poise and confidence, and they continue to put points on the board.
Well, I like the way they're playing. A very smart first half, quality shots, not wasting possessions.
Here's McDaniels. It's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got assist number 5 here tonight.
A guy who wants to make a big impact. McDaniels is just going off. Here's
Money. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Here's Conley. Rebound by the Hawks. 22 is their biggest lead. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
They shot the lights out from deep. Really stretched out the defense in that one.
There's all kind of talk in the game today about stretching the floor, because when you do that, everything else just becomes a little easier. You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter. Right now, he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Hawks.
Absolutely dialed in from beyond the arc so far in this one. The defense is surrendering the long-range shot here early on.
Another big component of their game early on has been their execution on the fast break. They're getting a bunch of easy baskets, pushing it in transition.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Edwards dishes to Conley. And Sadiq Bey picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
Yep, the next one puts them on the line, so they've got to be careful the rest of the way.
Here's Edwards.
Murray is a nudge. That means annoying, pestering. Every possession he gets up into you, and his defense really caused that miss.
Timberwolves trail by 17. Here's Anderson. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
A jump ball.
So it's the Timberwolves now. Gobert the pass to Conley. Ball stolen. Here's Money over by Conley. Puts up a three. And that will fall. The three-pointer on the line from Money. Money's got 29 in the game.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
It's hard for me to watch this. I mean, the defense practically giving them those shots.
Back to Conley. It's through for a second basket. He's now 2 for 6.
And this is Conley's game. Just terrific with that mid-range. The D has to be much more concerned.
Here's Money. He has 29. And they pick up 2. Money's got 31.
Well, I love watching him carve his way inside and capitalize.
Timberwolves trail by 20. Conley with it. He's got 8. Here's the 3. Hunter grabs the miss.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Money, no good. Minnesota's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. A nice shot by McDaniel.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Here we are, Greg, watching Atlanta. This team has a lot of firepower.
And some great scores, Kevin. They don't just launch threes. They like to work for good shots inside the arc as well.
And so Conley will bring the ball up for the Timberwolves. Edwards kicks to Conley. Shot clock at 6. Goes up at the stripe. No good on the shot. A bit long that time.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Hunter, no good. Timberwolves trail by 21. Here's Edwards. He scores with that shot. Now he's 3 of 8.
Hey, he's so strong in the upper body. You're not going to alter Edwards' shot with just a little bump.
Here's Money. And again for 3. Buries his 10th triple of the game.
Unbelievable.
Minnesota shooting just 39% in the second quarter. So the Timberwolves call their first timeout. After 2 consecutive first-round exits, Greg, the Timberwolves are looking to take that next step.
And with Anthony Edwards at the helm, I think they will soon. But you have to remember, he is only 22 years old. And when your star is that young, you typically have to endure some growing pains before breaking through.
Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Reed, he's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Towns comes in for Kyle Anderson. Alexander Walker, he's checked in for McDaniels. And it's Shake Milton in for Mike Conley. Then for the Hawks, Johnson, he's checked in for DeAndre Hunter. And it's Bogdanovich in for Bey. Here's Money, 37 points for him. Kicks it out to Johnson. Jacks up a 3. Another 3 for Atlanta.
The defense a step slow, and you can see the results.
That's 3 in a row from out there now, so they've got to do a better job contesting.
Passes it to Reed for 3. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
Nice read by Edwards there, finding a wide open teammate and sending the ball his way on target.
Here's Money. He's just been too hard to handle at the offensive end. His scoring average is just under 34 points a game. Johnson, right side. Bogdanovich looking around. Money, no good.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Edwards can't hit.
Boy, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Here's Money. To the wing on the left. Murray down low. Here's Okongwu. And the rejection by Towns. Here's Alexander Walker. Still without a basket. Pass to Reed from the arc. Drills the three-pointer.
And I don't care how far from the bucket he is. You've got to have a man on him. He's just too good from deep.
Here's Money. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Money's got 40 points.
And he's starting to show that killer instinct this quarter, looking to extend the lead.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Alexander Walker. He's covered by Murray. Timberwolves passing it around. Murray against Milton. Can't hit the free throw line jumper. Here's Money. And the last shot before the buzzer is off. And so it's Atlanta.
Your Timberwolves 52, the Hawks 72.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. What a game we're seeing from Money.
What a welcome surprise that first half. Went above and beyond his usual scoring output.
Well, you know what? They've given him an increased role tonight, and he's taken full advantage of it.
On the court for Atlanta. In the backcourt, it's the Stars, Young and Murray. DeAndre Hunter out there with Money. And it's Okongwu in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Gobert against Okongwu. Gobert, the pass to McDaniels. Looks good. It is good. That's his 7th basket in 12 tries.
Gobert can look over the top of just about any defense right there. Delivers a nice pass.
Here's Money. Edwards defending. Fires for 3. Money, no good. Timberwolves trail by 20. Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, Trae Young has been talking smack from a young age. He said if I was doing something nice, I wanted to let them know about it. Once he got to the NBA, Trae says, I was more of a fan of the guys I was going against. Once I got out of that mindset and started being competitive and talking a little trash, that's when everything clicked. Kevin?
David, not shy at all. Thank you. Towns is double. Out to Conley. When it comes to the essential components of a winning team, GA, how much importance do you place on veteran leadership?
Kevin, I think it's important. You want a few guys in the locker room who've seen it all. Players who can keep the ship steady if the team kind of goes awry or has a tough stretch.
Here's Money, covered by Conley. Hunter, no one around him. Hands it from downtown. Hunter's got 7.
A very consistent three-point shooter. Hunter shoots it well from there because of how confident he is.
Pass to McDaniels. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. This is his 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
An 89% free throw shooter puts him right there among the league's best from the line.
And guys, that's an increase in his free throw percentage from last year. Maybe not a large one, but it is a little bit higher. So, you you've got to like that progress.
Here's Conley. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. He's got 10.
Nice vision that time from Towns. And, you know, he's got that skill set.
Here's Money. Atlanta now working with a new shot clock. Three-pointer. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Gobert's got 9 rebounds now tonight. To the inside. It doesn't go for him. Murray with the defensive effort. The Hawks leading by 22. Here's Money. Good! Another from 3.
He has been on the money from deep.
Yep, definitely looking to shoot it as much as possible. Murray against Edwards. Towns wide open. And another 3 for Minnesota.
You know, looking at Towns, you really don't expect that kind of range. You better think again, though.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. Duncan Robinson, he's checked in for Money.
Substitution on court.
Here's Hunter. 7 points in the game. Money passes to Okongwu.
Way to attack there and then create the contact.
Really, as close as you can get to an and one right there. He almost had it.
And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Atlanta.
Well, you know, throughout this game, they've shot the ball extremely well from downtown. Their shooters are getting open and letting it fly.
And also, guys, they've been showing how dangerous they are in the open floor. When they see a chance to get easy points, boy, they just jump at it.
Boy, that's finishing the defense there. He made a good effort on that possession defensively and then closed it out with the rebound.
Money passes to Bogdanovich. No good on the triple.
And, you know, even though that shot didn't go down, I like how they got him a wide open look in space there.
Here's Milton. Dishes it to Towns. Hunter with some nice defense. And here's Hunter. He'll bring it up for the Atlanta Hawks. Here's Money. No good off the back of the rim. Minnesota shooting a mediocre 41% in this one. Hilton the pass to Towns. Jumps up. And Okongwu slams it in.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Well, turning defense to offense, we talk about it all the time. Try to hit your opponent at the other end before they can set up the defense.
Stolen by McDaniels. Down low. Here's Towns. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. And so it's the Atlanta Hawks having no problems at all. Up 29 points heading into
The Hawks, 107.
While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball. And how about the perfect
Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Gobert, he's checked in for Watanabe. Anderson comes in for Brown. Edwards, he's checked in for Alexander Walker. And Mike Conley subbed in for Shake Milton. Edwards and Anderson share the wing responsibilities. Rudy Gobert is out there with Naz Reid. And it's Conley in at the 1 spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota.
Gobert drawing so much attention from the defense. Nice job finding somebody with a better look.
Here's Money, covered by Conley. Unloads. Reed with the rebound. Reed's got rebound number 8 now on the night. And that's a foul called on Money. That's his 4th foul of the contest. Morris checked in for Minnesota. Jordan McLaughlin comes in for Michael Conley. Here's McLaughlin, defended by Money.
Boy, great effort on defense there against a guy who typically makes that.
Oh!
Oh, man!
Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Edwards passes to Moore. And that's a foul called on Money. That's his 5th foul.
And you've got to be more careful in that situation. That's his 5th foul, and now he's walking a fine line.
And Gobert kicks to Moore. There's the drive. Clock at 6. Anderson in the post. Up and in on the layup.
Yeah, well done to finish that one off.
The Hawks have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. Here's Money. So, Clark, we know you're very familiar with the college game. How do you think the one-and-done rule has worked out so far?
You know, not as it was intended to, Kevin. I mean, in some ways, the chance to see guys like Durant and others play in college for a year was better than not having them there. But I think it's also created this expectation that if you're not a one-and-done, that you somehow failed. And that's detrimental to the psyche of young players.
Here's Money. Anthony Edwards with the rebound. Edwards got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish.
Nailed from three-point land.
It's just hard to believe that someone can perform at such a high level. They've got to thank him for this lead.
The pass to McLaughlin. They get it again. And finished off by Gobert.
Yeah, coach's pet peeve there. No box out.
Those are free points you're giving away. You got to work harder on the glass.
Pass to Vizenko. Hits the three-point bomb.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
And those triples, they sure do add up quickly, don't they? I mean, they've got to make some kind of adjustment here.
To the paint. Here's McLaughlin. Pulls up. Rebounded by the Hawks.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
First personal foul.
Hey, like a lot of guys, Edwards rides momentum as a player. Confidence is soaring, so is his activity level.
And with this new in-season tournament, Greg, the NBA continuing to innovate. Are they getting, though, 2 out there for you? Or do you like it?
Listen, I think it pays to be bold. And I'll be one to admit I was not a fan of the play-in. But I got to tell you, it's been a tremendous success, so I've got an open mind.
Money, no good. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Edwards. Johnson with the rebound.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Here's Money. From downtown. Anthony Edwards with the rebound. Edwards got 6 rebounds here tonight. Cuts off the pass. Here's Money. Edwards defending. Money passes to Johnson. Here's Money. Pass to Vizenko. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. Shake Milton, he's checked in for Kyle Anderson. Timberwolves shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far. And that's out of bounds. Minnesota will retain possession.
Timberwolves ball.
Now, here's Milton. covered by Money. Here's Alexander Walker. Finds himself wide open and drills it. Atlanta's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. The Hawks again can't hit. And so Gobert will bring it up for Minnesota. Here's Alexander Walker. Up top, Gobert. Now McDaniels. And statistically, more young players in the league today, Greg, than in decades past. Might be a reason the age limit wasn't lowered in this new CBA.
Yeah, I mean, the veterans saying, hey, we're already having a tough time sticking around. And I think having those guys helps on and off the court.
Atlanta making a switch here. Bogdanovich is checked in. Money passes to Johnson. Here's Money. To the right side. 6 on the shot clock. The Hawks need to get off the shot here. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Minnesota making a switch. Towns is checked in. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Looking to end his cold spell, and Milton puts it in. Smooth sailing for Atlanta. Here's Money to end the cold streak. Connects again from distance.
And all game long, the threes have been pouring in for him. There is no stopping his shot.
And this is already a game he'll never forget. He's trying to make it a game that the world never forgets. Atlanta with the rebound. Vezenkov's got 4 rebounds in this game. The 3. Good! Another from 3.
And this parade of threes has no end in sight. He just keeps knocking them down.
Oh, and that latest triple ties him for second for the most threes in a game. What a monster he's been from deep. Here's Milton, rejected by Money. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. Here's Alexander Walker. Shot clock at 5. And he gets it to go. Alexander Walker's got 4 this quarter.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Atlanta.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And words can hardly describe the way these guys have come out game after game after game and been dominant facing both conferences. When they hit the 72 win mark, we thought it couldn't continue. And when they rewrite the record books once more, we'll say, wow, we were glad we watched it all. What a team.
They simply refused to let their opponent off the hook in either game this season. And that's why they're going to finish up the year with a 2-0 record in the season series against Minnesota.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Money.
Boy, he was absolutely relentless at the offensive end, guys. Smelled blood and went for it.
Here's Money. And a miss there on the triple. Pass to Alexander Walker. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
It all started with the pass. That's what coaches love to see. Ball move.
Here's Money. And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Charlotte. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on